There we are. It's a bit like taking your plants to the hairdressers when they come to see me. Hello, Mr. Geranium. Are you planning any holidays this year? Well, good morning to a beautiful spring day in some glorious Welsh sunshine. Wow, blue skies, fantastic. Here in the school garden we grow lots of sensory plants, and having sensory plants is a great way to get children either in school or at home involved and engaged with gardening and plants. This is a scented geranium, a scented leaf geranium. You just kind of rub the leaves and give them or pick a leaf off, crush it, give it a good sniff. So this scented leaf geranium is actually called cola bottles because there's a hint of something kind of a bit like cola in the perfume that you get from these leaves and these rather attractive flowers. It'll get smothered in flowers in the summer. So we've been growing this particular one in this pot for a couple of years, and you can see that it's got quite drawn up. We have to put it in the greenhouse here in South Wales over winter. It's only got a fraction of a little bit of heat in there. It gets quite cold. They can take a little bit of kind of light frost on there, but if we had a deep frost they would need the heat and the protection of that greenhouse. And what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this back. Here we are in early spring. Going to cut it back to encourage lots of bushy new growth from the base, so that we haven't got all this kind of dead wood here. We're going to get some nice new growth from the centre of the plant. And to help you envisage what we're going to do, here's one we made earlier. So this is one that we pruned back a couple of weeks ago. So that's how this one is going to look when we finish this little exercise. So here we go with our secateurs. Some twigs like this which look like they're completely gone. I might prune those back harder than the rest because I don't think they're going to shoot. That looks dead to me, that twig there, but this one has got a bit of life. Sometimes it's a good idea to prune just above where you can see some new shoots, so we can see some nice new shoots. Out the way, you. There we are, there and there. So I'm going to prune just above there like that. And there we are. So if we do that with every stem, not only will those two shoots grow away strongly, but there's other dormant buds. There's one, look, you can see just down the stem. Once we take out the top of the branch, that encourages all those kind of dormant buds that are along these, what they call the nodes of the stem. Dormant buds will all shoot out, and within a couple of months we should have a nice dome of foliage. So I'm going to get stuck in and do some cutting back now. There we are. It's a bit like taking your plants to the hairdressers when they come to see me. Hello, Mr. Geranium. Are you planning any holidays this year? So there's another one, look, with a little shoot coming out there. So we'll just take him just above there, so that'll shoot out. Almost a hard prune, particularly this time of the growing season, is normally good news for the plant. A hard pruning encourages new growth, so we should have lots and lots of new growth from this here geranium. A couple of things we're going to do now is just get rid of some of these old leaves on here. The compost level has sunk on here. There's the original label. There we are. Cola bottles. Ta-da! Seem to recall I got this from Thompson's Garden Centres down in Kent. If you're living down in Kent, worth having a look at Thompson's Garden Centres. Nice family run nurseries slightly kind of old-fashioned feel to their the way that they do their business, and some lovely plants. Anyway, we're not here to advertise, I'm just telling you where I got my plant from. So there we go, we've done that. Now we're in spring. The plant has been in this pot for a couple of years. It got fed last year. We're going to give it another feed now, and I like to use a slow release feed this time of the year. So putting this stuff on now will, for 6 months I would say. Where are we now? In April, so right through until October. Look at that, just like that, 6 and 4. We've got ourselves a steady flow of nutrients down to the roots. All we have to do is water then, and what I'm going to do is just sprinkle a little bit more compost over the top of there, partly because the compost level has sunk in the pot, but it's better if those slow release granules are encased in soil, because there's something that happens in the kind of to encourage the release of the nutrients when there's moisture and there's contact with soil all around the outer shell, if you like, of the granule. That will encourage even flow of nutrients, and they'll be released nice and gently and thoroughly to the roots. There we are, a little bit of a tap. I'm going to give that a drink in a moment and pop it back inside the greenhouse. Oh, there's one that I've broken there. There we go. Which actually reminds me that we have the potential for taking some cuttings here. Let's have a look and see if there's anything from what we cut off that we could maybe take a cutting to start a new plant. As well as having a big strong mother plant here, we might better make some little babies as well. Hang on a second, let's have a look.